Issue 17. Everybody wants to be famous. We are all egotists who want to be renowned and immortal. We wish as individuals to separate ourselves from the herd, to be both well-known and long-remembered. When we are young, we try to establish evidence of our existence by carving our names in a tree or in fresh cement. We want our pictures taken and distributed as widely as possible. We enjoy seeing our names in the newspaper. Whenever we can, we try to personalize the private items we use or wear, so they are uniquely our own. We dream of becoming celebrities, whose every word and deed are noted and discussed. Most people fail to realize these desires. They have a circle of friends and acquaintances around them that they acquire from the neighborhood, from school, from any organizations they belong to, from work. And, with the communications technology available, they may have intimate contact with hundreds of people around the world. Some of them will even occasionally and temporarily attract wider attention due to some athletic, academic, or commercial feat. But very few will ever be truly famous or leave behind any record or accomplishment that will be remarked upon after their deaths. Most of us will never be celebrities, but a few will succeed. Their names will be household words. Their likenesses will constantly be before us. People will want to be near them in order to share vicariously their reflected glory. At a further distance, people will imagine that they are somehow personally involved in the celebrities' lives. But, for those very few who manage to rise above their fellows in prestige and esteem, the dream often becomes a nightmare. They grow tired of being constantly the center of attention. They would like to be private citizens again, who could walk down the street, go shopping, or spend time with their friends or alone, without being constantly mobbed and bothered by the curious and adoring crowds. In short, they wish they could stop being celebrities. What does it mean? 1. Separate ourselves from the herd. 2. Without being constantly mobbed and bothered by the curious and adoring crowds. Comprehension. 1. How do we try to establish evidence of our existence? 2. What does "the dream becomes a nightmare" mean? 3. Why do some celebrities wish they were ordinary people?
Teen Talk. One. Why do people want to be famous? Do you? 2. How do people become famous? Talk about the ways people can achieve fame. 3. Are there any easy and simple ways to be famous? What are they? 4. Some teens get cosmetic surgery to become more popular. Do you understand their motivation? Do you approve or disapprove? 5. Do you think physical appearance is the most important ingredient in becoming popular or famous? Why or why not? 6. What would happen if cosmetic surgery were banned for teenagers, except to correct disfiguration? 7. Who is the most popular among your own friends and classmates? Why? 8. Educators often recommend that teens should read biographies of famous people. Why? 9. Can someone be famous but not rich? Rich without being famous? Let's talk more. Name at least one person in the following fields and talk about why he or she is famous. 1. Athlete. 2. Businessman. 3. Entertainer. 4. Musician. 5. Artist. 6. Writer. 7. Scientist. 8. Politician. 9. Religious leader. Opinion samples. 1. Only a few professions provide a possible pathway to fame. These include music, acting, modeling, journalism, literature, art, politics, and athletics. Business and religion are two other fields that sometimes lead to celebrated status, while success in science, scholarship, and education very rarely do. Plumbers, housewives, factory workers, farmers, carpenters, office workers, and people in most other categories may possibly acquire fame outside of their professions, but certainly not from within them. Of course, even within the more likely categories, the opportunity is not open to all practitioners. Hip-hop artists are far more likely to become famous than classical pianists, for example, and most hip-hop artists will also fail. So there is no sure means of gaining celebrity. But some career choices have better odds than most others. Questions. 1. Are the professions that provide most of the celebrities more important than those which do not? Explain your answer. 2. Is the possibility of fame the most important reason to choose a career? What about aptitude, job satisfaction, status, or economic potential?
Opinion samples 2. Prohibition is seldom effective. Gambling, smoking, adultery, the use of hard drugs, and many other activities have been made illegal in various places at various times. But people who wish to participate can usually find a way to do so. The same would undoubtedly happen if teenage cosmetic surgery were banned. Needy plastic surgeons could be persuaded to perform the procedure for a high fee and in less than ideal circumstances, or people who were not qualified to perform the operation would volunteer to undertake the task. In these cases, the safety risks would elevate, and the number of botched operations would go up. Affluent teenagers would go abroad to have it done, thus depriving the domestic economy of cash. So, education and counseling would be much more effective tools in dealing with teenage plastic surgery than prohibition would be. Questions. 1. Do you agree that education is more effective than prohibition? Explain your answer. 2. Is teenage cosmetic surgery actually a problem? Is it a solution? Are there any dangers or negative aspects?
Dialogue. A penny for your thoughts, dear.
Oh, I was just daydreaming about the future. You know I want to be a big star someday.
You've always wanted to be one, since you were a tiny tot.
I want you and Mom to know how much I appreciate your support. I know that paying for my lessons and my piano were hard for you, and I'll take good care of you when I make it big.
Don't worry about that. We just want to make you happy.
Well, anyway, thank you.
But we think you should consider your options. You're a very talented young lady, but only a tiny fraction of great singers or musicians or actors or dancers ever become stars. Most of them even have trouble making a living from their art.
But that won't be me. You'll see.
Okay, suppose you're right and you're one of the lucky ones. It's not easy becoming a star, but then it's not easy being one either.
What do you mean?
You know, they are often targets of unscrupulous people who just want to use them, and then they end up losing both their money and their good reputation.
I know. I'll be careful.
And sometimes, to get ahead, they have to do things they know they shouldn't. It's a shame what a lot of young women have to do to get their shot at stardom.
Dad, you know me. I'm not like that.
And a lot of actors and musicians develop terrible habits, drugs, and too many love affairs.
Don't worry, Dad. I promise to take care of myself. But thanks for worrying on my behalf. I really appreciate it.
And famous people are, justly or not, the subject of a lot of malicious gossip.
But most people don't take that stuff seriously. It's all in fun. Nobody believes it.
No, you're wrong. Most people believe whatever they read or hear on the TV. It's just the way people are.
Well, famous or not, I really can't help what other people might say about me. I might as well ignore them, knowing that my friends and family won't believe them anyhow.
But the gossip is just part of the bigger problem. Celebrities have no privacy at all. Whatever they do is scrutinized and discussed and analyzed, no matter how trivial or mundane it is.
Yes, that's a real drawback to being famous. You can't control the spotlight that's on you constantly. But I'll find some way to cope with that when the time comes.
So I guess you've made up your mind.
Yep.
Questions. 1. A penny for your thoughts. What do you think about being famous? Are you interested or not? 2. What about those people who work long hours for years without making much money but who enjoy their work? Should we feel sorry for them because they are not celebrities? 3. Which is more important for achieving stardom, luck or talent? Explain your answer in detail.
Read and discuss. Should celebrities be quiet? We all know about famous people who behave badly. They seem to think they are privileged and don't have to follow the same rules as the rest of us. But their actions also negatively influence their young fans, who want to emulate their heroes by acting in the same manner. On the other hand, sometimes famous people get very publicly involved in social action of all sorts. They may help publicize various obscure or unpopular causes, or they may protest against war or poverty or authoritarianism. Sometimes the lyrics of their songs are intended to be propaganda for some particular point of view. The public often criticizes their activism, saying that being famous does not automatically make anyone knowledgeable about any given topic, so the rest of us should be allowed to make up our own minds without celebrity influence. But the stars at fault usually reply that all citizens have the right to speak out on issues that concern them, and famous people have the same right to do so as anyone else. Questions. 1. Why do people imitate the bad behavior of celebrities? Do they also copy their good behavior? 2. Do you pay more attention to issues when your favorite stars get involved? Can you give any examples? 3. How much influence do famous people have on public opinion?
Pictures talk. One. Questions. 1. Some rich people are highly respected while others are not. Why? 2. Why is it difficult to be both honorable and wealthy? How could rich people enjoy a better reputation? 3. Is it morally correct to find fault with rich people simply because they don't help others as much as you think they should? Why or why not?
2. Questions. 1. Some people cherish honor more than money. Which side do you take? 2. Some pursue material gain by any means available. Can you explain their mentality? 3. Who is happier, the man of wealth or the man of honor? Why? What's your advice? 1. I wish I had better parents. They know I have set out to be a singer, but they are dead set against my ambition. They say they can't afford lessons or any of the other expenses involved in that field, and they refuse to help me out. As far as they are concerned, I should study hard in school so I can eventually make a good, safe living. They hold out hope that maybe I can become a music teacher someday, thinking that would be a happy compromise. But I'm not interested in studying, and I'm certainly not interested in having to depend on giving music lessons to untalented, unappreciative little brats. I only want to sing, even if I never become rich. But do you think I should accept my parents' suggestion as the only viable option? Or should I follow my dream in my own way?
2. I like being at the center of attention and quickly get bored if I'm not there. This has always caused minor difficulties at school, since I am frequently disciplined for acting up, but I don't care. That's just another way of getting someone's attention. If I think I'm being ignored, I get depressed and desperate. So I engage in even more extreme behavior than I normally do. But now I'm afraid my friends are beginning to desert me. They are tired of being punished with me and don't want any more trouble at school or at home. And I guess they are getting tired of having to spend all their time feeding my ego. If they leave me alone, I don't know what I'll do, since I'll be getting even less attention than I do now. And that isn't enough. Does anyone have a solution to my problem?